Hello, Namaskar. In Hello, Namaskar. Today I am going to discuss about examination of knee joint part 2. In part 1 we already discussed about what is knee joint, problem related to knee joints, different conditions arises in knee joints, clinical examination, pain, swelling, limb, restriction of movement, deformity, physical examination, preparation, inspection, limits of the swelling, palpation, different type of test, and fluid displacement test, fluctuation test, localized swelling of the knee joint. Today I am starts from the examination of patella. So patella bone is very important to carry out a systematic examination of the patella, position, tenderness, mobility. So position of the patella, is it high, low or laterally placed? Tenderness, palpate for tenderness over the anterior surface, upper, lower, medial and lateral borders. Push the patella laterally and palpate the surface underneath. Mobility. The patella can normally be moved up and down and side to side up to 25 to 50% of its wide in both the directions. Mobility is maintained or restricted in case of retropatellar arthritis. Different reflex examination. This slide shows different reflex examination, reflex mechanism, reflex hammer, quadriceps muscles, inner receptors, motor neuron and gray matter. So this mechanism passes through the sensory neuron to gray matter and reflex or action or result sent by motor neuron. Next is Q angle or quadriceps angle. So it contains definition, step 1, step 2, step 3 and interpretation. So what is definition? Definition of Q angle or quadriceps angle. The Q angle is defined as the angle between the quadriceps tendon or primarily the rectus femoris and the patellar tendon. First ensure that the lower limb are at the right angle to the line that joint the two anterior superior iliac spine. Two anterior superior iliac spine ASIS. Step 2. A line is drawn from the anterior superior iliac spine to the midpoint of the patella. Step 3. Another line is drawn from the tibial tubercle to the midpoint of the patella. The angle formed by the intersection of these two lines is the Q angle. This is the Q angle. In diagram In diagram, we see normal, knocked knee and bow knee. So interpretation is when the knee is straight, the normal Q angle for male is 15 degree and for female it is 18 degree. Any angle less than 13 degree may be associated with patellofemoral dysfunctions or patella alta. Any angle more than 18 degree is associated with patellofemoral dysfunction, subluxation patella, genu valgum, increased femoral anteversions and lateral tibial torsions. Joint line tenderness. It is important to elicit joint line tenderness in arthritis, meniscal injury or collateral ligament injury. Joint line tenderness is important to elicit joint line tenderness in arthritis, meniscal injury or collateral ligament injury. Method: the patient is supine. To mark the joint line, flex and extend the knee slowly and feel for the gap between the femoral and tibial condyle. Mark this with a skin pencil on both sides. Now palpate systematically for tenderness from front to back and at the points of attachment of the collateral ligaments. Test peculiar to knee. As mentioned earlier, the stability of the knee depends on the soft tissues, the capsule, the meniscus, the quadriceps, the cruciate and the collateral ligaments. Stability of the knee joint depends on soft tissue, the capsule, the meniscus, the quadriceps, the cruciate and the collateral ligament. To detect the integrity to the above structures, a stability tests are carried out. Test for collaterals: adduction or valgus stress test. Abduction or valgus stress test. This test is done to detect the medial collateral ligament injury. Abduction or valgus stress test is done to detect the medial collateral ligament injury. Abduction stress or varus stress test is to detect the lateral collateral ligament injury. So here two tests, one for the medial collateral ligament and other is lateral collateral ligament injury. Abduction or valgus stress test, adduction stress or varus stress test. These two tests is for the medial collateral ligament injury and lateral collateral ligament injury. This is abduction or valgus stress test position, and this is abduction stress or varus stress test. Test for cruciate ligament. Anterior drawer test. This is a one plane test for another instability as it tests the anterior cruciate ligament. Posterior drawer test. Posterior drawer test, anterior movement of the tibia on the femur. Anterior movement of the tibia on the femur. The posterior movement of the tibia on the femur should be completed and the tibia is pushed back on the femur. The test is said to be positive if there is a large amount of posterior movement. So, we see anterior drawer test and posterior drawer test. Test for menisci. McMarriage sign. The presence of the sign indicate injury to the menisci. Menisci test has Alpage compression test and Lachman test. So, Alpage compression and distraction test. This test consists of 4 steps: step 1, step 2, step 3, step 4. In step 1, the patient is lying prone. The examiner grasps the foot of the affected limb, internally rotates and slowly reflects the knee to 90 degree. In case of test for lateral meniscus, step 2, the above test is repeated with the leg externally rotated for the medial meniscus. So, in case of lateral meniscus, internal rotation, and in case of medial meniscus, external rotation. Step 3, the examiner then places the knee in the popliteal fossa of the patient and anchor it to the examination table. By lifting the foot, the examiner strongly stretches the patient's knee joint. This is followed by rapid internal and external rotation in case of lateral collateral ligament and for medial collateral ligament. Step 4. This procedure is repeated with a strong downward pressure on the patient's foot. So, this is Alpage compression and distraction test. Lachman test. This test indicates injury to the anterior cruciate ligament. This is a test especially for the posterolateral band, one plane anterior instability. Lachman test. This test indicates injury to the anterior cruciate ligament. This is a test especially for the posterolateral band, one plane anterior instability. Examination of movement. The important movement taking place at the knee joint are flexion and extension. In a semi-flexed position, slight side to side and rocking movement are possible. Flexion, the normal range of knee flexion is 130 degree to 150 degree. Extension, normal range is knee should normally extend to a straight line 0 degree and occasionally can hyperextended to 15 degree in some women, some female. Examination of the popliteal fossa. Examination of the popliteal fossa is done in a standing and prone position. Prone position. The following are the important lesions in the popliteal fossa. Number 1, Baker's cyst. Baker cyst. It is prominently seen and felt during extension of the knee and disappear or become less prominent during flexion. Number 2, aneurysm of the popliteal artery. A pulsating swelling is in the center of the popliteal fossa. Enlargement. Next is the enlargement of the popliteal lymph node. Enlarged popliteal lymph node. This is enlarged in the early stage of tubercular arthritis. Other examination, systemic examination and examination of the inguinal lymph node. So, in these two videos, examination of knee joint part 1 and part 2, we see problem of knee joint, clinical examination, physical examination, patella, test for collateral ligament, test for cruciatus ligament, test for menisci, examination of movements, examination of popliteal fossa. So, in this way, it helps us to diagnose the case related with the knee joint, and according to the condition we advise treatment and management of a particular case and particular patient. Thank you for watching. Like, share and subscribe.